Hi, and welcome to GCTV. I'm Carson, Dockery, and in the studio today, we have the general manager of the Gaston Grizzlies, David McDonald. The Grizzlies won the Coastal Plain League Championship in August, the franchise's second and first since 2011. Welcome, David.
Hey, how are you?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
So, you started out as a chief ticket officer in 2014, and how have you seen the team change in just your time spent in the front office?
Sure. This will be my 5th year now with the Grizzlies, and the game has changed in a way where we are every year trying to get more towards more entertainment driven, I guess, is what I want to say. Mm-hmm. And as far as the players and things like that, we've had great relationships with a lot of different colleges, and so we have a lot of different great players coming through every single year. The way the team changes, we have a little bit of turnover each year as far as players going to different areas in the United States and playing all over the country. Mm-hmm. The cool thing is we will have a lot of players come back to the team and want to play in Gastonia year after year. So we've had a lot of guys come back and do that, which is cool. But as far as the team changing, we do have several new guys each year, and we just try to instill the entertainment mindset in them so that they get it, and so they want to perform for the crowd almost.
Yeah. So the Grizzlies are often mistaken for minor league baseball, but they're actually in the Coastal Plain League, and that's a collegiate woodbat summer league. And with that said, where do you get your coaches and your players from?
Sure, it's a great question. It's one I get all the time. Our head coach, his name is Charles Bradley.
Cheeto.
Yes, Cheeto. Usually these coaches are coaching somewhere else or have some sort of hands in the baseball business. Yeah. Charles has coached several years in the past, and he's been an assistant with the Grizzlies for several years, and now recently being promoted to head coach. So we're excited about that. As far as the players go, they all come from various colleges all over the United States. Yeah. So we've had guys from California, Hawaii. We had a guy from Canada this past year, actually. So as long as they're playing in college, they're eligible to play for the Grizzlies. So they will play for their respective school for the spring, of course, and then come with us for the summer. It's a wooden bat league. So for them, this is a transformation, a transition for them from aluminum bats, what they use in college, versus wooden bats, which is what they would have to use in professionals. So these are the guys that are serious about baseball, and they're looking to get drafted, and several of them do, and then they try to work their way up through the minor leagues. So it's a cool process for them. It's the guys that are really, really serious about baseball, and so we just love being able to provide a place for them to come for the summer, and so we'll have scouts at every single game, so that way they can, be checked out and see if they're fit for, a major league system, and hopefully they'll get drafted and go on to do big things.
Yeah. So the Grizzlies are consistently ranked in the top 10 nationally for attendance in collegiate summer league baseball. What do you attribute that to?
Well, I'll kind of go back to what I mentioned earlier, what I briefly mentioned. It's all about the entertainment for us. And the baseball is great, and we have really good talent come in and play for the entire summer. But you don't have that many diehard baseball fans anymore. The sport of baseball is losing fans as a whole, and it's been proven with World Series viewership and Little League participation and different things like that. So what we focus on at the Grizzlies is 100% entertainment. We have a different promotion every single half inning, and where we try to get the crowd as engaged as possible, whether they're coming onto the field and getting a pie to the face, or they're doing some sort of sing-along, or they're dancing with blindfolds on, or whatever it is. So that's basically what we attribute all of our attendance to. It's a lot of different families coming out that may not be as interested in the baseball, but they're there to have a good time and see the players do choreographed dances on the field, just do some of the madness, and that's what they're there for. It's a memory making. So we try to become more wild every single year and come up with some different ideas and some unique ideas that nobody else across the country is doing. So the more that we can come up with for that on the entertainment side, we think the better attendance we'll have. The fans are there with their families trying to have a good time and build those memories. And so that's what we try to provide for them. Yeah,
so you were promoted to general manager in 2015, and if you go to a Grizzlies game, you're going to see yourself, and you're going to be running around in that Captain America suit. And so that's what people might know you for, but what are some of the other responsibilities that you have that people might not see on an everyday basis?
Sure. So this will be my 3rd year as general manager, and basically what that means, Carson, is that I guess I'll oversee pretty much every aspect of the organization. Now, everybody has their specialty that they focus on, and I just try to round it all together and make sure everyone's coming together and doing their jobs well. We've got a great staff that does each individual job very, very well. One of the specific roles of general manager is I'll work with some of the partners in the community who are trying to get their brand out there, whatever they're trying to accomplish, their goals. So if we can do that with them, if we can provide a place where our fans want to come and see their product and read about it in our program or see a sign that does that. So I'll take care of a lot of our partnerships. And then also kind of oversee a lot of the tickets. So everything revolves around tickets in our industry. If you don't have people coming to the game, you won't have sponsors, you won't have a team. So everything revolves around tickets, and so I kind of oversee that as well. We've got somebody, the ticket leprechaun, who oversees all of our Joe fan memberships is what we call them. It's your average mom and dad that want to come to the game with their kids. We have some group ticket people, and so I just kind of round that all together and make sure they're all doing a good job of that. Any food and beverage operations, things like that, all kind of fall under that category.
All right. So obviously right now we're in the off season, and what does a day in the off season look like compared to just a regular game day?
Sure. So it's a little bit slower than a regular game day. You know, we're not there from 7 in the morning until 2 in the morning. But you know, we're still there year round. We've got a full-time staff, and so you know, we'll take a little bit of time off after the regular season, simply because it's a lot of hours work during the summer. So we'll take a little bit of time off, a week or two, where we kind of wind down and rest up a little bit, try to catch up on some sleep, and then we'll jump right back into it. So we're already in the office now planning for 2018, and I know it sounds crazy because it's the beginning of October, but we're already looking at our schedule and seeing what nights we want to do different themes, what things worked in 2017, and what do we want to carry over into 2018. What things maybe didn't work as well as we thought they would, and are we gonna, you know, nix them in the bud? Kind of say we're gonna do that. It was a one-year thing. We wanted to try it. We might not bring it back this year. So it's a lot of planning. We're reaching out to all of our partners now, kind of doing a post-season, you know, wrap up with them, chat with them, and see what things they liked about it. You know, talk to our fans too. That's a big one for us. So, are there certain things that they liked, that they really liked, that we thought, you know, maybe that wasn't great, but then from the fans' standpoint, they loved it, or maybe vice versa, where we thought something went over really well, and maybe it wasn't a huge draw for the fans. So it's a lot of communication between our partners. It's a lot of communication between our fans. You know, listening to them. And seeing what things worked and what things didn't, and then adjusting that moving forward.
All right, so we can't talk about the future of the Grizzlies without getting into the Fuze Project, the Franklin Urban Sports and Entertainment Project. So that's obviously a big topic of discussion in Gaston County. And so where's the project right now?
Sure. So some steps have been made to continue to move forward. Of course, at this point, nothing is 100% solidified, but we're going through the process right now of it's a big planning stage. Anytime you have a project like this, of this magnitude, there are a lot of steps that have to go into it. And so you don't want to rush into something like this and do it the wrong way. So I think the proper steps are being made. It's just kind of a slow, drawn-out process, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. You want to make sure you do it right. So where we're at now, the city of Gastonia has been great to work with. We're working with them, and they have hired an architect to do the design work on the stadium aspect and the venue aspect of the Fuze project. So that obviously as what pertains to us. So we had a public forum meeting a couple weeks ago where the public could come and give their input. What kind of things would they want to see in a ballpark, in a venue like this? Obviously, the idea is for it to be a year-round venue. Did people want to have a dog park or a pet park there? Did they want to have a walking track inside the stadium? Different things like that where people could come and give their opinions. Our architect was there and would take notes. So that's what happened a couple weeks ago. It was a great turnout. It was held at the Gastonia Conference Center, and there was probably about 200 people there. All the seats were taken. People were standing around the outside. So it was a great turnout and had great participation. I would say 90% of the crowd there who got up and spoke and gave their input were very supportive of the project. They know that the west side of Gastonia has almost been, you know, kind of left alone for a long period of time, and they're looking for the revitalization of downtown Gastonia, which hasn't happened in a long time. So that's kind of where we're at now. There's another public meeting coming up this Monday, actually, the 9th, held at the Conference Center at 7 p.m. If people want to come and give their input on some of the things that they want to see around the stadium. is there going to be a hotel? Is there going to be, different bars and restaurants or shops down on Main Street or down on Franklin? So there's a lot of different things that go into it. And so this is a part where we want the public input. It's a community event. It's a community project. And so it just makes sense to have the community input. So that's where we're at now. That's on the 9th, and there's another one a couple weeks after that at the Conference Center as well. It's a 3-part series. And so after that, the design firm will come back and have renderings of this stadium and what it can look like. And that's the exciting part once that happens. The other thing that goes into the project is obviously the land downtown Gastonia, and the city has closed on all 4 of the properties that are downtown. That's part of this project for right now, and that was a big step to do that as well. I know there's the old Sears building down on Franklin has been vacant for 20, 25 years.
As long as I can remember.
Sure. So I know a lot of people are excited about kind of having that come down and building new life into Gastonia. So that's where we're at now. It's an exciting project. We're looking forward to the redevelopment of downtown and being a part of that.
All right, David. Well, we appreciate you coming in. We'll see you guys next time on GCTV.